Oh, when you want to start recording? Oh, look like Poe did it already. Never mind.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
great. Thank you.
I just didn't see it start automatically. Maybe it did this time. It just takes a little bit. So,
Yeah, I think we'll just wait a minute more or two more. We're almost at quorum, so we'll just wait till we reach that. Katie, I think we're only at 9. Are you seeing? Yep. Okay. We'll wait just hopefully one more minute. I know we had a few other folks waiting to join us.
Justin, are you here as Heidi's designee or are you just attending?
I'm attending as Heidi's designee.
Okay, well, that might change things. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we're still at 9. Okay. I wasn't sure if I counted you as guest or not. So.
Hi there. Who do we have calling in? Is that Elizabeth? I think we have Jess Thompson now as well. So I think we have 10. Okay, so I will, with us now having quorum, I'll call this meeting officially to order at 10:06 a.m. Before we jump into the agenda, I'm going to start with our roll call. So Abby Seitz, I am here. Vice Chair Katie Rooney is here. Po Unutoa, in for Tara Lucas. You are here? Okay, looks like we have Poe here. Thank you. Robin Shishido. You have Robin here. Thank you. Justin Menina, you're in here for Heidi Hansen Smith. Great, thank you. Audrey Hedano. Looks like we do not have Audrey. Not present. Ian Hirakawa, or anyone with the climate change mitigation and adaptation, or DLNR.
No.
And then Leah Laramie, I see you are here.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Abby, Ian or Luke are representatives from DLNR.
DLNR.
Yeah, and then Leah is the OPSD represent through the commission. It was a funny way the word was, so there's two in some ways from
Okay.
DLNR.
Yeah, sorry, I misread that. Thank you. So we have Leah Laramie here from OPSD with the Climate Change Commission. Then the State Energy Office, Christopher Yunker.
Hi, this is Nicole Chernohorsky. I'm here as his designee.
Great, thank you, Nicole. And then we Council on Developmental Disabilities. I believe Elizabeth Chin.
Yes, substituting for James Burke.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then moving to the county representatives, Yamato Sasaki.
Here.
Thank you, Yamato. Jesse Domain.
Yes, good morning.
Thanks, Jesse. Keith Hatcher. Not here. Kurt Watanabe.
Here.
Thank you, Kurt. And then we have Dr. Randy Blake in for Thomas Noyes. Is Dr. Blake here?
Here.
Thank you, Dr. Blake. Elizabeth, could you mute your sound, please?
How do I mute on the phone?
There should be the an auto button. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
I just muted her.
Thank you. Thanks, Jesse. And then in James Burke.
That's Elizabeth. Elizabeth is in for James Burke, not James from the Developmental Disabilities, just to clarify.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Next, we have Jessica Thompson here. Thank you. Next we have Jean Torres. Okay, and then last we have anyone with Senator Chris Lee's office.
I'm not with Chris Lee's office, but this is Luke from DLNR. Sorry, it was late.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate that. And lastly, with anyone with Representative Darius Keela's office. No? Okay, seeing none. I'll lastly ask if there's any other folks on the call that I missed that we can just record for the record as attending. Sarah Hip, I see you are on the call. And Kevin Richardson, the AG with the DOT's office. Chelsea Dow and Leanne Lopez with Hi-Fi. Did I miss anyone?
There's another Lay in there too, but that's about it. No last
Okay.
name, so I'm winging it there.
Okay, Leah M. Okay. Thank you all. Great. So with that out of the way, we will then turn to our meeting presentation. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my presentation?
Yep.
Okay. Great. So thank you all for joining for our special meeting today. We've had a lot of different funding requests come through as of late, and so it's been a lot to get through just in one meeting's time. So I really appreciate everyone taking time out of their day so that we can kind of move and progress. So we'll be returning to some of the old business that we weren't able to attend to at the last meeting, mainly two different votes. The first on the County of Hawaii's 5-year funding staffing request, and then the second for the request that all of the agencies that receive monies from this special fund provide an update to the advisory committee. Then we'll be turning to new business. So again, an item that we weren't able to get to on our last agenda, which is the update on the Safe Routes to School Special Fund. And then kind of our regular items on meeting the law's mandate with the project updates, staffing updates, and then just kind of our regular ending around future speakers, and then any kind of other open forum or announcements. So with that, I'm going to first turn to the County of Hawaii Safe Routes to School staffing funding request. So as a reminder, the County of Hawaii is requesting $500,000 or $100,000 annually, which will start in fiscal year 26-27. The county will also be putting in a little bit over $22,000 every year. And this will, so essentially this adds up to roughly a total of 122,000, the majority of which, as you can see, goes to salary, and the rest goes towards fringe and benefits. So I know that we pretty extensively discussed this last meeting, and with those comments, we were able to adjust some of the voting language. I know that there was some kind of discrepancies with the original language that we used because it was a little bit more geared towards federal funding. So we attuned the language to be more encompassing of that Safe Routes to School should be essentially supplementary to other grant funds, and also clarifying that, you know, the the funding will only cover the 500,000, and any kind of adjustments needed will need to be covered by the county. So before I take a vote on this action, I guess I just wanted to open it up if there was any other discussion that wasn't raised at the last meeting on this specific request. And I should remind folks that the funding request was also made available in the board packet on our Safe Routes to School website.
I mean,
Sorry.
No, I just want to say, like, you know, for you and Jesse and everything, that I do really appreciate helping, like, working through this. Like, right, like the one that we approved earlier, I think we kind of, you know, it was a little bit more time constrained, but we are trying to set up these processes, and a lot of them are new, and HDOT is also doing that. And so I really appreciate everyone's hard work and understanding as we work through these things. You know, the funding is definitely there, but the law that says it should be used when possible as a local match, because then the money remains for more things. And so I know maybe that's not always obvious and clear, and like we're negotiating through a lot of things, but I just wanted to say thank you for everybody for working through them. And going through this process. I know it's not as fast as everybody wants, but I just wanted to say that, because I know, like, we're building it as we go through it a bit. And, you know, I think a lot of folks on the advisory committee, it's not clear with what we're supposed to do all the time in order to meet these sort of competing things. So I appreciate everybody's patience and working through it, especially since I didn't have to do it.
Yeah, thanks, Katie. That's a good point. We are definitely learning as we're going, and so we definitely appreciate, especially Kevin's guidance on the voting language and kind of all the nuts and bolts that need to go into this. So yeah, thank you. Okay, is there any other? Sorry, I can't really see the chat, Katie.
Nope.
Is there any other questions? Okay.
No, if anything comes up, I'll interrupt. Deal?
Okay, thank you. So with that, I'll read out the official voting language, and then we'll take motion for a vote. So the action is to review, which we just did, and approve the County of Hawaii's 5-year funding request dated August 21st, 2025, in an amount not to exceed $500,000 on a conditional basis. Safe Routes to School funding is only to be used if grant funds fail or do not sufficiently cover funding for the position in which Safe Routes to School funds would be used to supplement the remainder, and any increases made to the position salary or benefits shall be covered exclusively by the county. Are there any questions, objections, or abstentions to?
You need to make the motion.
Could I
request? Okay, so
could I
moved.
request the motion?
So moved.
Do we have a
Seconded.
second? Thank you. Are there any questions, objections, or abstentions?
Do I need to abstain?
Probably. So let's maybe do a roll call then, if that's the case. So just to make it clear. Unless Kevin, we don't have to. If chime in now. Okay.
Kevin?
It would probably be safest to do a roll call vote.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
let
you.
me just exit out then of my screen.
Excellent.
Okay, we'll start with myself. Abby Seitz, aye. Katie Rooney,
Aye. Yay. Whichever one you're supposed to say.
Po Untua.
Aye.
Thank you. Robin Shishido.
Aye.
Thank you. Luke Jarvis.
Yes.
Thank you. Leah Laramie.
Yes.
Thank you. Elizabeth Chin.
I'd say call that an abstention for right now.
Okay, we'll have that. And Yamata Sasaki.
Approve or yes.
Kurt Watanabe.
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Blake. Dr. Blake? Okay, we'll call that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Blake. Appreciate that. Nicole Chernohorsky.
Yes.
Thank you. Jess Thompson.
Yes.
Okay. I believe that is everyone. So with that, the motion is approved. Great. Thank you, everyone. Very excited that we have that accomplished and have Jesse's position at the County of Hawaii funded for the next 5 fiscal years. So thank you again.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm sure he's happy too now. Yeah. No, and I think also, Abby, just noting that this is what the money was supposed to be for, was that we'd had several years in the past where there weren't coordinators, there weren't funding for coordinators, there were jumps, there were concerns. And so part of this is to provide that backstop. So, great. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. Boots, you guys are the boots on the ground. So we're really happy to get you guys funded. Great. So I will next return back to my presentation. So next, I just wanted to highlight that this action stemmed from some of our discussion that we had last meeting, in the context of which was some of the committee members felt that it would be useful to have the agencies that receive special monies from the special fund to provide an update, an annual update to the committee. Just around like the work that's being done, obviously for transparency's sake, and just so the committee members have a better sense of the work that's being completed, and also just helping us to also put that in the report to the legislature, and also be able to just share kind of publicly around the progress that's being made. So before I ask for a motion for this vote, I guess, was there any other discussion that folks, or feedback that folks wanted to share? Or Katie, did you have specific thoughts on this?
No, although I know like at the last meeting, and Robin, I know you weren't here and Larry was there, was that Larry offered to look into like how this type of requirement gets integrated into the paperwork on y'all's side, and was going to get back to us. So I just want to note that, like, I think how this gets done is kind of, maybe already covered in the process that you might entail, but just, figuring out how to do that. I don't expect you to answer that question today. I'm just sort of pulling it forward because I don't think we have a great idea of how best to go about this, other than just make an action about it right now. We have a hand. Oh, we did have a hand.
Sure. Do you want to share? Sorry, I can't see the hands right now, but feel free
I
to
think
share.
it got dropped though, so that's
Oh.
why.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Sounds good. I guess we'll see no other comments at this time. I'll go ahead and
Oh,
read.
Now Yamato's raising her hand.
Okay.
Now we have another hand.
Okay, Yamato.
Hi. Yeah, I was wondering, would it be simpler language to just say like to present the report that's sent to legislature? Because that's required in the law already. I'm just wondering if that would make
It could be,
things
but historically
simpler.
they've not been provided. And I think we're asking very specifically about what we're funding here. So Yamato, in the years past,
Right, got it.
Honolulu has been the only county that submitted those reports, is my understanding. And so relying on that seems to be problematic. Whereas like this would be, in my mind, part of like the grant requirement that you have to come and tell us how you spent the money. Specifically this, like your report to legislature can cover more than that though, right? So this is specific to like when these are executed to make sure we get some sort of feedback. So
Got it. Yeah.
Jesse? Sorry, that's not my job.
With
Abby, Jesse's raising his hand.
Oh, Jesse? Sorry, I'm like staring into a white box right now. Thank you.
I have no objections to presenting or keeping the group abreast of any and all updates, but we will already be reporting to HDOT because they're the pass-through. Is that correct? It'll just be an additional, or just looking for clarification?
I don't think HDOT requires any formal or reports like that. So I think reporting to the advisory committee would be probably best, and whatever frequency is requested.
Okay, very cool. I'm so used to dealing with like the TAP grant through HDOT that we do the monthly reporting and everything. So that will be kind of scrapped because we'll just be doing this annual report here. So, okay. Thank you.
I think HDOT is requiring us to report to them specifics about the project. Like if your scope is not fully defined yet, because you're not sure what schools you're going to do things at, then they want a report as to like when you decide which schools are going to be chosen.
Thanks, Yamato. Because yeah, I knew that had come up in conversations that you and I had had with Tara and such. So, but that's kind of separate. So, cool.
Great. Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, I think we're intending this not to be, necessarily a burdensome activity, but just an annual, essentially, presentation to the committee that encompasses both, the work that's done under the staffing funding, as well as the project progress that is being made. Great. So seeing no other questions right now, I will read out the voting language, which is to request that all state and county agencies that receive monies from the Safe Routes to School Special Fund provide an update to the Safe Routes to School Advisory Committee on an annual basis until the project is completed or funds are exhausted. These updates should be in the form of a presentation at the regular Safe Routes to School advisory meetings and should summarize any progress and or work completed with the Safe Routes to School special funds, including the work of Safe Routes to School staff where applicable and Safe Routes to School funded projects. Do I hear any motions to approve?
So moved.
Seconded.
Great. Are there any questions, objections, or abstentions? Wonderful. Seeing none, the motion is passed. Thank you all. So next we're moving into the new business. And again, this is an item that we were not able to get to at our last meeting. But kind of the context of providing this update on the Safe Routes to School Special Fund is I think there's just been a lot of questions, both from folks, in the committee and at the legislature around the status of the special fund, and not only how much money is actually in the special fund, but also how much authority we have to spend it, which are two different things, as well as the distribution of how those funds will be distributed, particularly now that we have approved project list. So Tara did give me these figures, but with her not being here, Robin offered to speak to just some of the details around the current amount and the budget authority. So I wanted to just hand it over to Robin before offering up for questions or comments from the committee.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. So just shown on the slide there, in FY fiscal year 26, we have authority to spend or expend a little over 13 million. Currently in the special fund, there's just a little over 12.6 million. As more revenues come in for this year, then we can spend up to 13 million. So we're limited by, how much cash we have and then by the authority we have for the year. And the distribution, the allocation by quarter, in July to September, since we didn't have the project approved yet, there was no money needed to be spent. But for quarters 2, 3, and 4, that's how the funding is currently being allocated. And if it's not spent in each quarter, it just gets rolled over to the next. So it's not going to expire or lapse at the end of the quarter. So.
Okay, thanks, Robin. I appreciate that. And then I also
Can I ask some questions? Sorry. Yeah. Right.
Sorry.
No, I just want to ask, so when does the money show up in the special fund? Right, we have these new revenues coming in. How does that process work? Because I think a lot of I don't really understand it and follow it. I know in the past there was once a year there was an allocation, but when does that happen and how? When does the 400,000 show up that's been in there historically too?
I can't remember exactly, there are different things that contribute to the special route, Safe Routes to School special fund. And I don't know if it's collected either monthly or quarterly, or it could be annually. But, I think beginning or by the end of this year, the counties have to implement that $5 surcharge on the registration. And so I don't think that that one might be monthly or quarterly as well. So, by, be the end of either January or the end of, or at the end of March or early April, that funding revenue would come in.
Okay. Sorry, say the dates again. You said where you thought they might come in?
Well, for that new revenue, that $5 surcharge on the registration, counties have to implement by the end of this calendar year. So, assuming you start collecting come January 1st, 2026. I'm not sure if they transfer their funds to us on a monthly basis or quarterly. I can go find out. But, so if it's monthly, it'd be, the first part of February where you'd first see some funding for that. Or if it's quarterly, it'd probably be in early April, then you'd see it.
Yeah. Robin, I think it'd be great if we knew. I realize it'll, sort of happen. And anyways, we'll see it over time. But I think that would be helpful for our processes, because I think scheduling when and how and under what circumstances, you guys asked that we do it once a year, which I think is totally reasonable. So, understanding when it's coming in and when to kind of take those snapshots, it would be really helpful. So,
okay.
Yamato's raising her hand, Abby.
Great, thank you. Yamato?
I had a question about the current amount that's in the special fund. I don't know if that's going to be talked in more detail coming up, or if this is the time to ask the question.
You can, please go ahead and ask the question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm wondering, with there was 20 million put in the special fund, and the first year nothing was spent, and my understanding is we're on the second year now. And so I'm wondering, the current amount is not 20 million. Like I was expecting it to be over 20 million because it'd be the 20 million plus the accrued fee from the speeding violations that are continuing for the last 5 years that I was under the impression that was not being spent. But is there like a way to find out what has been spent in the last 5 years? Because if it's been, I don't know, 10 million or so that's been spent, I'm just curious what it's been spent on, or if that's reported on somewhere.
Yeah, we can get the expenditure. So for the first year, there was a 10 million that was transferred from the state highway fund into the special or Safe Routes to School special fund that was required by law. For that second year, that 10 million that was to be transferred upon request, but being that the committee was just formed in the first year, the project wasn't approved until after the second year. There was no request for that 10 million, so that amount lapsed at the end of the last fiscal year. And that other 2 million and change is from what was built up with that other revenue.
Oh, okay. I did not know that it was required by request. Is that written in the law? Because I
Yeah.
did not see it, but maybe someone could shed some light on that. I don't know where we would find that in it.
Jessica's raising her hand next.
Yamato, I think we can I'm noting down the questions here, and I think we can address these as we're going, and maybe Kevin can help chime in too. But I'll let Jess ask her question now as well. I'm assuming if it's related.
It is related.
yeah.
Just piggybacking off what Yamato said. I was just curious then, do we need to, just so that we can make sure that we're all, lined up so that we can, utilize these funds effectively for Safe Routes to School projects and programs. How are we going to have to ask for the remaining, for another 10 million? Like, does it automatically get allocated for the next budgeting cycle, or do we need to ask for it before then it gets allocated?
So right now that 2-year funding, that first 10 million was transferred. That second one, there was no request, so it lapsed. But with that $5 surcharge added to everybody's registration, I mean, it's going to generate, I think, roughly about 6 million a year. So that revenue is going to keep on coming in, and every year we'll just need to request the authority to be able to spend what's in the Safe Routes to School special fund.
So can I ask a clarifying question on that one?
Mm-hmm.
So we still have that 10 million that we did not, get for the first year. And then we get the extra money that's coming in. Then are we able to, from the surcharge, are we able to then request, like, how do we get that 10 million for Safe Routes to Schools projects on top of the 6 million that we get?
So the 10 million that lapsed, that would
Yeah.
need to be in different requests. But when that original request was going through, it was, from our standpoint, was going to be general funds, and then it came out to be our state highway funds. So if you put in a request again, I mean, requesting the general funds would be better.
That would have to be a legislative thing. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then, just so I can understand, for this surcharge, all the surcharges, I think there's a couple that was passed, right? So, do we have to request for the spending authority, or is that kind of an automatic thing that HDOT is going to be requesting?
Yeah, we'll do it every year. We'll do it for our budget bill so we can ensure we can expend what's being built up into the special fund.
So I think part of it is, we kind of came across this. And so I think going forward, we're going to ask for quarterly presentations on the status of the special fund, because there's a lot of moving parts as we move forward. You know, Yamato, you talked about like the different ones and when they come in, and we don't have a great sense of that. So that's part of starting this process. And so just to sort of clarify, because both Abby and I have been somewhat confused about all of it as well. So Jess, you have another hand raised. So.
Yeah, I'm just curious when the committee was informed that we were supposed to make that request, because we all missed it. And so I'm like, how did we all miss that? So I'm just curious, like looking backward.